Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kevin.
And I'm John.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look back at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these cult 80s and 90s action movies and breaking them all the way down.
We're going to get into the nitty-gritty and examine the good, the bad, the ugly, and the laughable in these movies.
But, as always, we're coming from a place of love. You don't watch these movies as many times as we have unless you have a genuine affection for them.
Everybody loves a winner. Everyone can see that I am. Everybody follows the leader, baby. Cruising down the streets of Siam.
All right, John, how you doing?
Brother, I am great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, too. A little behind the scenes. We're taking a crack at some remote recording here.
That's right.
We've been stuck in our homes, quarantined, if you will.
I've got Kevin's beautiful mug pulled up on a FaceTime screen, checking you out, baby.
Yeah. So, yeah, we couldn't let a little thing like a global apocalypse, though, keep us from talking about this fucking awesome movie.
Keep us from talking about it and keep people from listening to it. And this is where we want to encourage all of you earnest, regular listeners to cue your friends and get them listening along so we can all be having the same great time together.
Yes, I think if you're an aficionado of the 80s and 90s cornball action movies, you know this movie well. It's 1989's Kickboxer.
Oh, man. The first entry that was somehow good enough, or so people thought, that it spawned inexplicably an entire franchise of Kickboxer movies.
There were a bunch of loosely connected movies that followed this, all bearing the name Kickboxer.
Yeah.
But this is the original, and I mean the crown jewel of the franchise.
100%.
If you can call it a franchise.
Yeah, we'll call it that for now. The movie is a Mark DeSalle production.
Yes.
Who also apparently came up with a story with the film star Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Is Van Damme, is there anything he can't do?
No, he was involved in every step of every process. He's sort of Stallone-like in that regard, I think, you know?
And we talked about their first foray together, which was Bloodsport.
Yeah, listeners may remember Mark DeSalle as Jackson's schlubby friend from the gym at the beginning of Bloodsport. He was also the producer of that movie.
We didn't realize at the time, or I didn't anyway, but he also's got a cameo in this movie that we'll get to pretty soon. And then he also, I think, did produced or directed the movie Death Warrant with Van Damme a little bit after this one.
Right. And this was all just a year after Bloodsport, and they decided that just to get the whole band back together, right? They just went back and asked whoever was involved from Bloodsport, let's make lightning strike twice, you guys.
That's what it seemed like. There's two directors credited on this movie. The other guy is David Worth, who was the director of photography on Bloodsport. Yeah,
he's also director of photography for a couple of other favorite 80s movies of mine, the Inner Space with Martin Short.
Oh, that's a good
Dennis
flick.
Quaid, and a movie that you and I have referenced but never seen together, but it was one of my favorites growing up, Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins, starring an unlikely Fred Ward as an action star.
That's just a wild, this guy's got a resume.
Yeah, it's
He had
crazy.
highs and lows.
and there are lots of similarities between Bloodsport and Kickboxer, and it's a wonder to me that Frank Dukes didn't sue DeSalle and Van Damme or more likely just threatened to beat their asses. So it's starring, of course, Jean-Claude Van Damme in the title role of the Kickboxer. Kurt Sloan is the character's name. It's crazy. Van Damme, as we said, also got a story credit, and he choreographed and directed all the fight scenes. So busy man on set for this one.
I read on IMDb, maybe you saw the same, that Chuck Norris was attached to play the role of Kurt.
That's
at
bonkers.
some point that Norris had a relationship with Menahem Golan, based on, I think, the Missing in Action movies.
Because that was like one of the big ones that got Cannon off the ground at first.
Yeah, but that Golan was just dead set that Van Damme was playing the part, so they wouldn't give it to Chuck Norris. Which, if you think about it, I mean, Norris was probably 40 years old.
Right.
It's just a little old to be playing the little brother. Maybe they would have rewritten it.
Golan wanted to see those flying roundhouse kicks.
Oh, dude, yeah,
he believed in him, man. He believed in him.
Well, I think history has proven he was right.
Yeah, the movie also stars Michel Kisi, I guess maybe you pronounce it. He plays complete rat bastard Tong Po, though in the credits it says Tong Po is played by himself.
Yeah, that must have been some sort of like a marketing stunt or something. I would think, right?
This guy actually exists.
Kesey and Van Damme apparently were childhood friends together
back in Belgium.
Both, had their hearts set on making it big, and they came to Hollywood together in 1982. It's kind of awesome that they both, more or less made it.
Oh, they willed themselves into a motion picture career. I think that's crazy. That's the American dream, baby.
They both had an appearance in another Cannon film, Breakin', as just like background dancers.
I've never seen it.
You've probably seen the GIF of Van Damme in a unitard sort of dancing behind some other people who are breakdancing.
Yeah.
If not, just Google that. But
I will.
So, do we have a problem with Kesey, who's Moroccan, stepping in and playing an Asian man?
I think definitely now it doesn't fly in this day and age. I think that casting has become such that it needs to be someone. It needs to be more authentic, and it probably wouldn't fly now. But in the 80s, and even as recently as like a decade ago, like in theater and things like that, people playing other ethnicities was common practice. So cool then, not cool now.
They say that they were just having a hard time finding a very tall Asian Muay Thai fighter,
right?
Which is, that sounds somewhat believable.
That's plausible. Yeah.
They did just a lot of prosthetic work and makeup sort of effects to give him an Asian eye, I guess, for lack of a better phrase.
It's not a great facial prosthetic.
It doesn't work on close-ups.
Or an even good one. Yeah, he sort of looks like a swamp monster close up. It's like
he plays an amazing villain though.
Yeah, he is intense as fuck for sure. He dials it right in.
Also in the cast we had Dennis Chan playing Zian. Who has like a ton of credits on IMDb. He's got 82 credits, mostly a lot of schlocky sort of martial arts stuff, it seems.
Yeah. And then we have Eric Sloan, played by real-life former kickboxing champ Dennis the Terminator Alexio. That's kind of cool. So bringing some credit to it. Yeah, I liked it too. Yeah, he did a good job. You could
definitely tell, like when he was delivering kicks and stuff, he had some real fighter's power.
He was trained for sure.
I want to talk about Winston Taylor, played by Haskell V. Anderson, who he still works. Not a ton of credits on his resume, but he does a lot of TV, I guess.
The screenplay by Glenn A. Bruce, who went on to write for Baywatch and Walker, Texas Ranger.
On to bigger and better things.
That's right.
Oh, dude, and we have, of course, I know you're the music fan.
Yeah.
A lot more original tunes by Stan Bush.
Yeah. I do love some Stan Bush. And then an original motion picture soundtrack by Bloodsport alum Paul Herzog. They brought him back for this one. Same guy.
I enjoyed the score on this one.
Yeah, I did too. Some great trivia about this one. Kickboxer was released in certain markets as Karate Tiger Part 3. So one wonders why.
I read that.
Shot on location in Thailand. Production lasted only 50 days from June to August of 88 and cost between 1.5 and 2.7 million, depending on which source you believe. And insanely, Kevin grossed $14.7 million domestic and $50 million worldwide.
This movie, $50 million worldwide. So between Bloodsport and this, it just catapulted Van Damme to the mountaintop, I guess. Of this dude's a bankable action star.
Yeah, this sealed the deal for Van Damme for sure. If Bloodsport wasn't enough to wet your whistle, then 7 to 8 great splits in this one is what did it.
Which of those two movies do you prefer?
Between this one and Bloodsport?
Yeah, which one?
I'm a Bloodsport guy to my core.
That's cool.
I think that this
I'm
is
a
a better
guy.
This is a better movie, like from a production standpoint. But yeah, I have a soft spot in my abdomen for Bloodsport.
It's probably like whichever one you were exposed to first.
For sure.
And I feel like I saw this movie first on HBO. It was one of my very first R-rated movies. I think I ever saw this and Die Hard on some free HBO trial or something. And then I was just equally in love with both of them and thought they were both action movie equals.
Absolutely. This movie, though beloved, is nothing like a good movie.
Man, I want to talk about the flick.
All right. I guess we should. We've wasted everyone's time to this point.
If you're still listening, thank you.
So yeah, I guess we'll talk about the movie now. If you're not having a delicious drink, we suggest that you do so. It'll make it seem more like you're in your living room
with us
by yourself at this trying, challenging global time.
Yes.
So anyway, plot. Movie opens with some crowd noise at a fight, and the title Kickboxer flashes up on the screen in some big ass video game-ish letters, and we immediately open up on a fight in America, presumably, where kickboxing champion Eric Sloan is having yet another successful title defense at the ISKA championships.
Yes.
And it's
such a cheap ass set, dude. It was like the cheapest.
It's like put together with chewing gum and toilet paper. Eric is rocking both mullet and perm.
Yeah, it was like... It's one of the worst fights I've ever seen on film. It was just the most boring.
The other guy's not doing anything. So
I think in the 2 rounds of action we see, he might try to throw one kick or punch. But he's just standing there getting beaten up.
Getting the shit kicked out of him. Eric's brother, Kurt, is working in his corner, and Kurt is super impressed with what Eric is doing.
Yeah, man.
We get the super ineffective, wow. That's all we get from Jean-Claude.
So one thing is, I read somewhere, but it was not in the credits. Someone said that one of the 2 ring announcers was David Worth, the other co-director of the film, which seems plausible.
Yeah. Speaking of that dialogue between the ring announcers, it is primo. The champ is really awesome. That's a great line, right?
He's an awesome champ.
He's definitely the Eliminator, the other guy says, which is
Eric the Eliminator Sloan.
A nod to his real life nickname of the Terminator, I guess.
Right.
Eric makes a Babe Ruth-like prediction between rounds that he'll knock his opponent out, which of course is exactly what happens.
It helps that the opponent is just worthless. Like he's basically a punching bag out there. I think I could knock this guy out.
Eric Sloan wins the bout in 38 seconds in the 4th round and retains his championship.
Did you notice the other guy working Sloan's corner?
I did.
The guy like sort of off to the edge of the screen, just fist pumping and hamming it up. He had a fanny pack on. Yeah, I think he had bare feet.
He probably like works in their gym or something.
I love the thought of like your cut man or whoever it is got the fanny pack on. It was the 80s. It was the 80s.
It was a beautiful time. After the fight, reporters are asking Eric why he doesn't use a trainer, and he says that his brother Kurt is all he needs. I love that he tells the reporters that apparently Kurt just wants to be a vet.
He says he's going to be a vet. I say he's going to be a lawyer. Well, I'm going to kick his butt. And it's like, I just was thinking like, Van Damme is not a young guy in here. He's not old, but he's probably 30.
Yeah,
It's like it's
time.
a little, but it's a little late in the game for one to have your brother telling you what you're going to do with your career, and then for two, like you don't get a whole lot of freshmen in law school or freshmen in vet school probably at age 30.
That's true. That is fair enough. Fair enough.
I wondered if they were meant to have been a younger cast. I don't know.
In all likelihood, yeah, we can say that. But this is also the era of like Saved by the Bell or in Beverly Hills 90210, where 30 and 40-year-olds are playing 18-year-olds and everyone's fine with it.
That would be funny if we find out that they are meant, the two characters are meant to be like 19 and 24. I mean, Dennis Alexio, Eric, it looks like he could have been somebody's granddad.
He got started very, very, very young. The reporters ask what's next for Sloan now that he's beaten everyone in the U.S., and he says it's time to take it on the road and beat the best in the world.
That's right. That's right.
And this is when some schlub reporter asks about Thailand.
That schlub, that would be Mark DeSalle, our director/producer/writer.
I love the line. I understand kickboxing was invented there, and they're the best at it. Talking about Thailand.
Which it stands to reason, yeah, that they would be is kickboxing the same as Muay Thai?
That's a great question. Based on my notes here in front of me, it's just isn't it just Thai boxing? So I don't know.
That's what I would think.
Yeah.
It's not literally. I mean, it doesn't look like the Muay Thai that Tong Po is fighting later, or the other fighters that we see in Bangkok.
It looks a little bit different, but I just love that quote. I understand kickboxing was invented there, from what I've heard around town, I guess. Jesus Christ.
I understand. There was no Wikipedia back then.
No,
Word on the street.
And this information is apparently news to Eric, who's ostensibly been kickboxing most of his life and just now learned that it originated in Thailand. Outstanding. That's fantastic.
He's not a student of the game.
I suppose not. But then just some classic American machismo. Eric tells Kurt to book him a couple of first class tickets to Taiwan and they'll go show him what's up.
That's right. And he sort of, I think Kurt corrects him and says, Bangkok. And he says, Bangkok, Taiwan, Tokyo. What's the difference? I'm kicking ass wherever I go.
Yeah, that 80s kickboxing money must be good. Right?
And I mean, this dude he's bought into his own hype.
Oh, 100%. Sure. Yeah, he is.
I feel like he's fought strictly. It's pretty easy when you're fighting dudes who don't seem to be able to punch or kick back. I also noticed in this scene that the championship belt magically transferred from on Kurt's shoulder to in Eric's hand, like in the blink of an eye.
They're very
It was
fast.
like, it was behind him. The camera was maybe over the shoulder and it's on Kurt's shoulder, and then it cuts to a shot head on and Eric is holding it.
Kurt was a ninja in another life named Frank
There was
Dukes.
probably, I think there might have been some they cut out the really racist stuff.
Potentially. So this conversation precipitates montage number 1 for this movie.
Oh,
it's a montage of the Sloan brothers touring around Bangkok to Stan Bush's excellent song, Streets of Siam.
That is a catchy ass song. I need to download some of these for sure.
Yeah, they're good for like a workout playlist, if nothing else.
It's heavy synthesized pan flute, right?
Yeah.
And whatever else was going on.
Some like gamelan percussion in the background. It's really, but it works. It's awesome. It's very 80s-tastic. We see the Sloan brothers in a water taxi where JCVD is rocking that denim on denim vest, no shirt jean combo.
We need to start with the wardrobe. Van Damme's look was incredible.
Oh man.
Eric had a tropical print shirt on. He's got that dark curly mullet, like extra oily or slick.
Yeah.
He looked, you mentioned Saved by the Bell, and he looked like AC Slater with a mustache.
He does look just like AC Slater.
I mean, or his like older pervy uncle or something like that.
Axel Slater. We do get some great photography of temples and pagodas in Bangkok.
It is interspersed, this montage, with like really awesome sort of scenery that you really transports you there, and then just ridiculous bullshit.
like naked children swimming.
We're about 3 to 4 minutes into the movie and we're seeing little boy dicks. Just like a long lingering shot on some naked boys playing in the water, jumping in the water.
Well, it seems to go from good photography to the Bloodsport method of capturing B-roll, which is to just be candid and not tell any of the locals that you're shooting.
I gotta wonder who made the decision that shot of the naked boys, it stays in the picture.
It's sort of National Geographic-esque, though. It makes you...
Yeah, it is. It's not like salacious.
No.
It just makes you stop and say, why am I seeing this in this movie?
Agreed.
Is there no other B-roll that you had? No kids wearing shorts that were jumping in the water?
There's also a little bit of acting happening between the Sloan brothers, some fraternal shoulder squeezing during the boat ride.
They were very touchy-feely, the Sloan bros.
They didn't grow up together. We'll find out later. Making up for lost time. Then we find ourselves in downtown Bangkok suddenly in the red light district with strip clubs and other establishments named things like Fire Cat, Pussy Alive, Jugs Bar next door to
with Coke, Jugs Bar with Coke.
Next door to
a Coca-Cola logo.
Next door to the Thigh Bar, so you've got options. I guess.
You got options.
One would assume.
Never mind.
One would assume that those are actual trade workers in the world's oldest profession that they got in the B-roll.
I noticed the Kangaroo Club. Also,
man. Such good names. During this montage and earlier, we see that Kurt is essentially Eric's valet and buying things with, we guess, Eric's kickboxing fortune. I don't know. Maybe their parents were well off. I'm not sure. But Kurt is in charge of holding Eric's wallet the whole time, I guess. He's booking the flights, he's tipping the motorcycle cab, he's buying flowers, he's always following Eric around. I don't know.
Is Kurt in charge of also paying the hooker?
Yes, 100% he is.
Eric's first order of business. It's like, let's go. I need to hook up with a Thai hooker.
Out in front of a place where a poster says, "Go, go, girls, hot stuff for lovers."
Of course.
I love as Eric gets, I guess, the affirmative from the hooker, he gives that thumbs up. He's over like, yeah, she said yes to exchanging sex for money. I'm getting crabs tonight.
And
like
Kurt is just tickled. Yeah, he gave the girl the bouquet of flowers that Kurt had bought off the old woman on the water. I think he tells him, Kurt, pick the bouquet that you think would be most impressive to a prostitute.
And then Kurt's like skeezy arms akimbo sideways smile. It's like, yeah, brother, you pay for that intercourse. Like
he is proud of his big bro, Eric.
The cab ferries them up to a place called the Hotel Regent. As Eric's walking off to get chlamydia, Kurt reminds him that he's fighting the Thai champ next week. Eric is unconcerned.
He's like, don't worry, I won't be showing any symptoms by then.
Yeah, Kurt tells Eric to watch his wallet, which is weird because I feel like Kurt has Eric's wallet. And Eric says, she doesn't want my wallet. She wants to make it with the champ.
I wonder, I'm like, and again, Kurt seemed very impressed by the swagger of his brother, but it's like, is that what you really think?
Oh man, rewatching this movie a couple of weeks back has reignited a passion in me. Wait,
I wanted to hear how this sentence ends.
Rewatching this movie has ignited a passion in me to unironically use the phrase "make it" to refer to sex.
You said that to me yesterday. And I'm like, define make it.
Anyway, it means it's time to make the sex, Kevin.
It's time to make the sex. Wait, tell me this. Did Eric use a condom?
No. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell he used a condom.
Oh my God. Yeah, he definitely caught something.
Definitely.
Hey, this is a little spoilery, but the good thing is in his defense, he'll never feel it.
Oh shit. Yeah.
It's like no itching here, no
That's
burning.
true. No itching, no burning. Everything's fine. Later that day, or maybe the next day, the Sloans are training together in a park, which also kind of looks like M. Bison's palace is in the background.
Oh, dude, all these on location things in Bangkok are incredible.
It's so cool. We get a long ass conversation, which is nothing but exposition. We hear that Kurt was raised by their mother in Europe while Eric was raised by the dad in America, and they ostensibly were divorced.
It's always weird when two characters are having a conversation where they both already know all the details of what's being said.
That's
when you know it's exposition.
It's like, is this the first time they've ever had this talk? It's so weird.
No chance.
So we hear that Eric was pushed to excel by their dad at athletics, or else he got called a loser. But it
sounds like the dad was a fucking real piece of work.
I'm wondering if he was like maybe like he was in the military or something like that. Is sort of the vibe that I
could definitely see that. Yeah, he hooked up with the mom overseas or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that sounds like a rough childhood for our guy Eric.
Yeah,
it explains a lot.
Yeah, but he says it made him strong, and we learn from Kurt that their mom was a special lady too. Which okay. She pushed Kurt to speak 3 languages and to take ballet before karate. So there we get that Kurt knows karate.
It's strange that they're having this conversation as if they've never talked about this before.
It's so dumb. But anyway.
I love the exchange of, I really miss her. He's like, I wish they could have been here to see me win the championship. It's like, wait, they're both dead?
Yeah.
That also just stretches belief.
They killed each other.
Oh, no. Oh my God. I love Kurt's delivery. Well, big brother, they could never get along, but I'm glad we do.
Oh, and that just sort of sews the whole package up. End of exposition.
And then he's immediately gets distracted by a bird.
No one knows why. Yeah, I don't get Kurt's distraction by the bird.
He just goes over to an older guy with a bird in a cage, and he's just sort of poking at the cage.
My only thought is that maybe he's supposed to be this innocent younger brother.
He's sensitive,
and
right?
He also has, maybe this is his aspirations to be a vet on display.
Oh, good call. He's like, that bird looks sick to me.
So they spar a bit, and Eric gets mad that Kurt isn't hitting him hard enough.
Which I would think if it's, a couple of days before the fight, you really don't want to accidentally catch a kick in the face. But either way.
So Eric shows him some powerful kicks. He tells him to put the pads on and just starts like ripping into him while he's wearing those pads on his arm. That's power, kid.
He does. And you can see the power. You can tell that this dude, Alexio, is a real fighter.
And then we also get this great line from Jean-Claude that I still use to this day that I think you and I quoted this all the time in college, but whoa, take it easy. Like,
I can hear that line in my head anytime I want to. Yeah.
Meanwhile, a crowd has assembled to sort of watch them work out. And that's not far-fetched. I've seen that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised there wasn't like press around and photographers from the newspapers or whatever.
Congregation of locals to watch the Westerners hang out. Later on, it's suddenly fight day. So we assume that like a week has passed by this time. At the arena, it's sort of a crazy, wild scene. There's loud music and raucous fans.
Kurt is sort of observing, right, that the style here is much different than what he's been fighting in America.
So he sees these couple of guys in the ring, right? And it's very much closer contact.
They're in a clinch basically, and just exchanging knees to the ribs.
The close contact and the kneeing to the torso really confuses Kurt, and he warns Eric, "Hey, this is a different style, buddy." Eric is not worried and sends Kurt to find some ice.
He's got to have this ice.
Punch is a punch, a kick is a kick. He's not worried about it.
Kurt's wandering the halls looking for the ice machine.
He's gone to look for the ice machine and is drawn to a Tyrannosaurus Rex in Jurassic Park style thud somewhere in the building. I like that. I do like the atmosphere as he's coming up on the room where he finds Tong Po kicking a column, but it's all like smoky and stuff.
Dude, yeah, the shit is so effective when he's approaching the doorway and you sort of just can see Tong Po's like braid whipping, and you're like, he's just drawn to it like a siren, calling him or something.
Kurt peeks around the corner and sees Tong Po just kicking like a support column. I mean, it's got drywall around it, but he's just kicking this thing, and the ceiling is crumbling. Like plaster is falling.
It's amazing. We should describe Tong Po's look.
Yeah.
He's like, a tall dude. Head is shaved, but except for a long ass, like sort of ponytail that's braided, just coming off the crown of the head almost. Yeah. It's down to his waist,
it's very,
right?
very long. And we get, first look at Tong Po's face, Michelle Kesey's facial prosthetic.
He's got some sort of scarring, it seemed like, on his face, or maybe it's just bad prosthetic work.
Tong Po turns around and sees Kurt ogling, and he does that weird fist clench flex thing, and you hear joints like crackling and cracking and stuff, and Kurt is freaked out.
I think Kurt probably wet his pants and then ran back to warn Eric.
Yeah, he filled his pants up with poop and then ran away.
He did get stopped for ice on the way.
Now, I have a question. I understand that this all takes place in the days before the internet and that they didn't have access to internet regarding the champion maybe of all of Thailand's Muay Thai scene, but no one in America knows who Tong Po is or has any intel on the guy.
I don't know, man. Yeah, it does beg the question. I mean, the ISKA, there's no way they sanction this fight.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, who set up the fight with no reliable information to share regarding the opponent?
And they threw this thing together like within a few weeks, it seems like, from his last title defense.
I just find it hard to believe that Eric's manager, if he has one or whoever, said, call Thailand and set it up. You're staying at the Regent, check-ins Tuesday, fights a week from Wednesday at 11 a.m. Bye. And just like sent you
somebody really dropped the ball on this.
Just crazy. So anyway, Kurt gets the ice successfully and runs to warn Eric and tells him about this fucking crazy person that he saw. I saw the look in his eyes. The guy's crazy.
Eric's he's not even concerned with that. He's just rubbing himself with that ice.
Just weirdly icing.
What is that accomplishing?
Is he numbing his skin? I don't know.
I could never make sense of it. And I was really trying to understand how the ice helps him fight better.
I don't get it, but he does give a shout out to Atlanta, Georgia in this little scene. Yeah. Says the crowd's going to love this fight, just like Rocco and Atlanta. Right on.
Kurt is like just pleading with him to please cancel the fight. He's talking about Eric says something about his legs.
Yeah, it's all on the legs.
And Kurt says, legs? This guy was kicking one of these with his fucking leg. Blah! And the plaster was falling down.
Eric is not concerned, as always. So what? Can he move like me? And then he does the weirdest fucking thing in the entire movie. He does all these like really fussed shuffle and like shadow punches, and it's making this like slick Vaseline.
It's a sex noise.
It's like it's so gross, but it makes me giggle. Anyway,
I know
he is not listening to Kurt.
He says, if you're not going to help me, then you can just leave. Right?
If you're not, you're either with me or go the fuck home. So Kurt reluctantly says, yeah, fine. I'm here to support you, champ. And I'm going to see you through to the end, which is momentarily. Cut to the ring. We see Tong Po preparing, doing some kind of ritual while Eric shadow boxes and shows off his belt that means nothing in Thailand.
They don't seem impressed.
No. And so I looked it up, and this is a pre-fight ritual that's a real deal called the Wai Kru Ram Moi, which is a student show of respect and gratitude to their teachers, parents, ancestors, fighting style and stuff. So I thought that was interesting. So despite Tong Po being a crazy ass, that he was at least in touch with the traditions behind Muay Thai.
Huh.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Now, did you notice that Eric's chest is now clean shaven and it was hairy in the locker room?
I did not notice that. That's amazing.
It's just like, oh, sure. Okay.
Maybe that's why he was icing himself down, because he wanted Kurt to give him that straight razor shave on his chest.
He didn't want any stubble. He wanted to.
He didn't want to scratch his opponent. It's not fair.
But yeah, so that's how Eric was focusing on his pre-fight final preparation.
So after all the pre-fight ritual, it's suddenly go time, and the music picks up lickety split. Tong Po starts moving across the ring, and the bell rings as he's moving. He is en route. Yeah. So
does the bell guy is he waiting for Tong Po's cue?
No, I think to me, it makes it seem like Tong Po is just like, I'm going. I know I won't touch him until the bell rings, but I'm going to be moving in the meantime. Just like calculated. Like, that's crazy.
It was sheer domination.
Oh yeah. Eric gets one kick in that Tong Po catches, and then just it's punch after punch. Kurt is obviously very, very concerned. An elbow knocks Eric to the mat. Tong Po is getting the crowd riled up, very Chong Li style.
Yes, the crowd loves Tong Po.
Yeah, and then Eric makes it to his feet and comes right at Tong Po with some kicks, but gets neutralized again pretty quickly with some fucking headbutts. Have you ever headbutted anyone or been headbutted?
Playing soccer, but not like in a fighting way.
I can't imagine just headbutting somebody. That's crazy to me. But
you're as likely to hurt yourself, right, as you are to hurt the other person, but maybe not if you're a expert in headbutting technique.
If you're trained and know like which part of your head to use, I guess. But Tong Po gets Eric on the ropes and is absolutely devastating him with, I counted 23 uninterrupted knees to the ribs. Seriously, like,
it was wild, and it was also that the way it was edited together was just a continuity nightmare, because he had his Tong Po sort of had on half the shots he had just his hands are sort of behind Eric's head and was hitting him in the ribs, and then the other time he had one of his arms up under Eric's leg. It sort of had him, where he's on one leg and is giving him those knees. But it's unclear. Maybe
there are even more knees to the body that we just didn't see.
Maybe so. They had to edit it down for time.
Yeah. So he beats the crap out of Eric before flinging his limp body to the mat. The Thai fans are all about it. Is a wild scene there. And then we see a couple of shady looking characters looking on from like a balcony from some rafters.
Yeah, we don't know who these dudes are, but they seemed, I guess, to be like authority figures.
Yeah, if their faces don't say shady, that one dude's blue silk shirt and pendant necklace do. The fighters go to their corners at the end of the round. Tong Po is chill, cool as a cucumber. Eric is somehow conscious, which I have found to be incredible now as an adult. Just he's somehow conscious and able to stand. If I'm Kurt, and he does, like, I'm doing the same thing. I'm thinking throwing the towel, like that. Eric is outclassed here. He does not know what's going on.
Half of his ribs have to be broken by now after just the end of that round.
Eric's complaining about the music and the elbow to the face.
He's like, that fucking music's driving me crazy.
But Kurt tells him, he's like, that's just how it is here, man. It's no holds barred. You kind of elbows and knees. That he said,
he's like, I tried to warn you. Like, that's how they fight here.
So Eric says he's going to show Tong Po what's for with some street fighting, and Kurt begs him one last time.
He's like, motherfucker wants to street fight. I'll show him.
Eric again denies Kurt's request to cancel the fight, which is he can't cancel it. He can stop it. Can't cancel it.
No, there's no way. Kurt should have dragged Eric out of the ring. Like, there's nothing left
he should have jumped in the ring and gotten with the ref and just told him, we're stopping this. I don't care what's happening.
It's very much it's the Drago and Creed fight.
It's Rocky IV for sure.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, why are you going back out here? You're dead on your feet.
Yeah, and he had nothing to prove, like Apollo, like ostensibly. So the fight resumes.
He's got nothing to gain, everything to lose.
Yeah. So Tong Po lumbers across the ring like a Chong Li machine. I guess it's no accident that they're very similar villains. And then it just punches and elbows to the face, and
he drops him quick,
and one last kick to knock Eric back down. Kurt throws in the towel, but Tong Po is not having it, right? Eric is on his hands and knees trying to get up, and Tong Po drops an elbow on his spine, which if Kurt was trying to stop the fight, is that legal? Probably not. The fight should have been stopped.
It doesn't matter. The fact that Tong Po, if he kicks the towel out of the ring, that doesn't mean that the towel wasn't thrown. The referee should have been,
and the ref was right
in between them.
Like, I rewound it back. The ref is there. He sees it.
Yeah, he's letting it happen. But I mean, I guess the whole fight, there's some other things at play we don't know about yet.
Perhaps, yeah. It's like, why no repercussion from anyone? Also, at first I was like, elbow to the spine. complete paralysis. Like,
I mean, if you got hit just right, it could sever your spinal cord. But the crowd, they're into it.
Yeah, the crowd's into it, and it's not until this moment that the ref starts to show some concern over the injured fighter in the ring. Kurt tries to confront Tong Po.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, asshole, you can't do that." And then Tong Po sort of flings the two guys holding Kurt back aside and just gut kicks him right out of the ring.
Kurt lands in the lap of Black American guy in the front row. Who is Taylor, played by Haskell V. Anderson that we mentioned before. And then Tong Po picks up Eric's belt and rips it in half. I guess it's not high quality leather. I don't know. That's literally impossible. You can't just tear leather. No, maybe it's but vinyl. Also I don't know.
Well, Kurt, he pleads with Taylor, whose name we haven't learned yet, but he pleads with the guy, take us to a hospital. And Taylor says there's 2 more fights. How is this not the main event?
That's a great question.
This is their champion versus the American champion. We got 2 more fights after, though.
That's a great question.
Even know. Yeah, that had me like, there's no other fights after this one.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
Eric that's a great point. Eric gets carried out on a stretcher, and the shady guy with the silk shirt he signals for the guys to get rid of him. Basically, just like take him quietly around back, which is exactly what he means. He's like, take that body out back and do whatever.
They've gotten what they wanted out of this guy. Now just put him in the alley.
Yeah. So the stretcher bearers just leave Eric on the curb outside the arena, and they go back inside, closing the gate behind him. So which is not great for Eric, who likely has multiple broken ribs, a broken spine, internal bleeding,
all types of internal bleeding. Yeah. Concussion. Surely.
Kurt is frantic, trying to hail a cab, ask for the guy to take him to the hospital, and the guy, there's a language barrier, obviously. And then a blue van comes from behind and bumps the cab from behind, and it starts to roll off down the hill, which is kind of awesome. Yeah. The American guy from inside hops out and says he'll take him to the hospital, which is
he got out of there and to his vehicle fast.
Yeah. It's nice of him to have that real quick change of heart.
I know. And I was thinking to myself, Taylor also is definitely drunk, right?
Yeah, well, I feel like Taylor pre-games before he does anything, which we'll learn later. But he was pre-gaming probably. I love that there are escorts in the van.
He had a couple of girls.
And that they load, as they're loading Eric into the van and get him in, he shoos the ladies away. Bitches never get enough of my stuff.
Well, when they put Eric in the back and close the door, Eric just visibly moves his feet.
Oh shit!
He visibly pulls his feet in as they're closing the door, man. And it's like, come on,
maybe he'll learn to walk again. The guy, the American, introduces himself as Taylor, and immediately non sequitur. I'm ex-special forces. I'm sort of retired.
You're riding the fastest wheels in Bangkok.
Yeah, and then they speed off to the hospital with the unsecured, not immobilized, gravely injured man rolling around in the back of that sweet Mazda van.
He is rolling around back there. It's like some Weekend at Bernie's shit.
And that is, friends, where episode 1 in our series of Kickboxer ends.
Oh my God, I'm already exhausted.
That was a lot to unpack for sure.
And we haven't even seen Van Damme fight yet.
No, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, very, very cool.
This is great.
Friends, we hope that you'll pick it back up with us again next time for your COVID at home listening pleasure. We wish you all well. Stay at home, wash your hands, have a beer, and we love you.
All right, we'll be back.